Enchante, my friends. How's it going? I'm good. I just got in from work a few minutes ago and I was just chilling for a second and getting our cards all ready. Yeah, before we begin, hello, I'm Liz. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, please like the video. Just go on and like it, and if you decide at the end of the video that you hate it, you can unlike it. But before you forget, like the video, and if you would like, at the end of the video, leave me a comment or an emoji. Share the video, save it in a playlist, do whatever you want. But any little thing that you do helps content creators get their videos out, and it helps other people connect with these messages as well. So I can put as much content out as I can, but it really, I need you guys to be able to get out into the algorithm. So I can't do it without you, so thank you. Subscribe to my channel. Please join us. Come back and see us again. And yeah, let's just get to it, shall we? So we're going off of my post this morning on Instagram. My handle there is Liz_Taylor_Magick. So you should go follow me there, and you'll get a heads up, or you'll get a sneak peek, or you'll be able to see these readings before we talk about them in more detail in the evening. I usually post them around 11 or noon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So this is a continuation on that discussion from this morning. So we got release from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. We got healing. And we got sanctuary. We got Queen of Wands. The World. And Five of Wands. So basically, it's like, hey, just release, chill. You're in a moment of healing. Just let go. Let go. It's so funny because I haven't been able to watch or listen to my Kabbalah 5 class that I signed up for. And the first class was last week. I just hadn't had a chance to listen to the replay. And it's so funny because the messages I've been getting just over the past few days have been about the importance of rest, letting go, release, Shabbat, the Sabbath, right? That state, that act of rest, that act of letting go, that act of release, the act of not worrying too much about it, don't obsess, the act of just energetically putting it, whatever it is, aside and letting your guard down and letting your your attention shift to something else is such a powerful act, because what it's doing is not only is it relaxing your vibration so that you're not, in this dissonance or having this turbulent tightness, right? You can release, you can relax, you can go with the flow. Your energy is different, so it's more malleable to blend with what it's harmonizing with. But not only that, on a spiritual level, you're demonstrating to the universe that you have absolute trust and certainty and faith that what you're doing is taken care of. And you have confidence that it's working out. And you also have confidence that, or you understand that your obsession is only an illusion of control. And that when you're able to let go and surrender, it's you're okay, I'm not the only one who's got this. The universe has my back. God has my back. Source has my back. I have angels. This situation can work out. It's you're showing faith and certainty and trust in a power greater than yourself. Or even just if it's not that for you, then it's allowing yourself, demonstrating that trust is magnetic. it does something on an energetic vibrational level. And I think that's when, you know, what we were talking about, it's like it relaxes. Like when you are, when you can't let go and you're too obsessed about something, or you have to have it and there's no other way, and you're feeling like you're in lack, right? That's scarcity, that's lack, that's doubt, that's repellent. It's not magnetic. So it causes this energetic state of polarization where you're actually pushing away and creating contrast and friction and blocks against what you're trying to bring in. So even though, you know, if you struggle with like workaholism, or if you're just like an obsessive person, or you're like hypervigilant or just anxious, it can feel like irresponsible, or like you don't care, like you're flippant, or you're not taking it seriously, to just relax and let your guard down and let go. Not worry about it all too much, right? Not worry about your every move and how it's coming across, you know, just let go, just let your hair down, be free. It's incredibly attractive to life, to people, to the universe, to everything. So yeah, it's just about like letting yourself surrender. And it's a compassionate act. It's not only an act of faith and certainty, but it's a compassionate act to yourself, because you're saying like, I'm valuable enough to like, I wouldn't torture someone else like this. So like, I need to be kinder to myself and be gentle, or be, you know, understanding, you know, and allow myself like the space to just relax and rest and replenish and nourish and, you know, care for myself and all of that. So yeah, definitely release, let go. Trying to like give this as an example, like if there's something that you're worried about, like just shift your focus and put it on something else. Like just stop worrying about it. Like it's not gonna help. Like take action and like try to resolve the situation, but don't like keep festering over it. If you are trying to be perfectionistic or overly like manage or perfect how you're approaching a situation and being really controlling about it, like relax, just let go. Like it's almost worse when it's like the energy is so uptight. So whatever is going on right now, you're gonna benefit more if you relax and release all across the board. You're healing. And so during phases of healing, there are different emotions that come up, and you might be feeling triggered in different ways, and you might be feeling hypervigilant. I know when I have disembodied anxiety, I get really hypervigilant and a little OCD, and I have to check myself, and I have to tell myself like, hey, you have disembodied anxiety. You're just doing that OCD thing where you're hypervigilant, and you can just, everything is locked, everything is safe, like you can leave the house. It's like you don't have to check it like 3 more times. And that helps me when I talk myself through it, right? So maybe you just have to talk yourself through it. But whatever it is, like there's so many emotional things that we've been processing recently. But in general, I think we've been digging up deep things from the past that have to do with like our grand life experience up until now. This isn't just recent pain we're processing. This is like lifelong lessons that we've been getting to the root of and getting to the bottom of, and starting to really process it and see it all differently now. And it's becoming easier for us to let that go. But there's still parts of our ego that want to hold on. They want to hold on to the way that we identified, the way that we've talked about things, the way that we expected things to be. So what we're being asked right now to do is release the past version of ourselves, the past version of our life, whatever we've come through and been through, and what we were dreaming of. Like it can all be different. Like you can recalibrate and figure out who it is that you are in this moment now, and recreate and co-create with divine a life and an existence and an experience that you want to be in. It just takes discipline, and it takes presence and self-awareness. And so the ego is going to push back, right? Everything's going better. Everything's going well. We're really starting to embody and integrate this higher version of ourself and start experiencing ourself in life through that. But we are going to have those moments where the ego is going to push back, and it's going to want to go back to the old ways, and it's going to want to throw a fit, and it's going to want to blow up, and it's going to freak out, and it wants to run back to all the things that it knew, all the same old patterns, you know, codependency, avoidancy, whatever it is, whatever your shtick is, it's going to want to go back to the same comforts, that default setting. But it's right now is where we just have to push through until we really, it's like we're breaking in new shoes, or we're practicing a routine. It's like we're getting our Olympic routine ready. And it's like we're still kind of like fucking up our like double axel. We're not quite landing it yet. So just keep practicing, right? When you catch yourself going back into those old stories about yourself, or, you know, your old beliefs or old subconscious patterns, then, you know, just realize it, observe it, and look into it, you know, learn about it. Where was the root of that? What does it connect back to earlier in your life that you witnessed, right? In such a galvanizing state that it stuck with you, and, you know, your subconscious made up a story around it to defend yourself, right? So just be aware. Things like that are coming up. So as you're healing, find sanctuary regularly. Cultivate that sense of sanctuary within yourself, but have it regularly as a practice within your life so that you can support your ongoing healing, and so that you can support yourself up-leveling into this Queen of Wands character. I think that this sanctuary card also ties back into what I was getting at before about the rhythm of Shabbat. Like, we are commanded by God. Like, God is like, take a day off, take a rest. Like, you need a rest. It's like the rest between the notes is what creates the melody. It's what creates a rhythm, right? Without it, it's just this like ongoing, like, you know, and like, that's why life gets so grating and we lose it and we burn out when we don't have that rest. And sometimes it's not enough to just have a day off, because then we're out running around and we have plans. And so we don't really just let ourselves have quiet, have stillness, inner reflection, you know, just like a gentle, like paced day where we really connect deeply with those around us, and we relax, we release, we just let it all go. And we sit with ourselves, or we sit with the people that we love, and, you know, we think deeply about life. And then after a day of that, it's like we're ready, we're recharged, and we can go, you know, be inspired again and work hard again and be motivated, right? So yeah, the Queen of Wands is that charismatic character who's got so much energy. And you know what I love is that we are bookended, like the Queen of Wands was under release. And so we've bookended our reading with two ladies wearing peacocks. Peacocks are a symbol of divine protection. And so we're shrouded in protection in this moment, in that sanctuary. So find your sanctuary in that. When things in life get dark and scary and uncertain, find your sanctuary in the certainty that God can turn anything around for your favor in any given moment. As soon as you believe that to be true, it activates it. It's like the magic. As soon as you're in a situation and it's like getting hairy, or you're getting impatient or whatever, and you're like, oh, I can see this doesn't seem like it's going my way right now, but I'm going to choose to believe that, like, it's all good. It'll all work out. It's all going to work out in our favor. In fact, this is going to be our advantage. Moments later, something will happen, right? Something will give. So just remember that. And, you know, as we're letting go of all of this, as we're allowing ourselves to heal, it's like we're becoming this person right now. I love this. With the Queen of Wands is good at doing a lot of different things, like taking care of, going in all different directions in her life, but still being able to like manage to like do it well and keep up with it and be like super charming and charismatic and social and just the light and the darkness. What we have to be careful about when we are the Queen of Wands, when we're that charismatic person, is just remember that we're shining this bright light out into the world. And we can't control what is attracted to that bright light. You know, in this picture, it's like some of these are moths, some of these are dragonflies, some of these are just flies. You know, you can't really control. And so it's up to you to be able to have the boundaries, to be able to like swat away what doesn't belong in your, you know, in your light, right? If you need to set a boundary with people who don't belong there, then you're going to have to do that. But I hear people a lot saying like things like, well, why do I always attract these kinds of guys? Why me? What's wrong with me? And it's like, attractive is attractive. So you are attracting guys across the board. It's up to you to decide who you entertain, who you spend time with. So whatever those guys are that you're complaining about, it's not that you've like, what is it about me that attracts them? It's what is it about you that like spends time with them? Like you can let them pass you by. You can say like, sayonara, goodbye. I'm not going to deal with you anymore. So stop looking outside and victimizing yourself. Instead, take responsibility. Like when we talk about on this channel about being able to building trust, it starts with you. And it's not just about, like, I think people think like, oh, I've got trust issues and I'm just going to have to force myself to trust people. That's not how you build trust. Building trust is when you can like use your discernment and your intuition and your good judgment, and you can say no to people, and you don't necessarily let everyone in, and you know, you're not available for everyone, you know what I mean? So you have to set those boundaries for yourself. You have to decide, okay, has someone earned my trust? Like, are they trustworthy? Like, am I seeing bad signs about them? Like, am I seeing red flags? Then maybe I should walk away, right? So you have to gauge that. So you're having to learn how to protect yourself, right? See the peacock. And for one, you're protected and guided by divine, and you have to declare that over yourself on a daily basis. But also just, use that in prayer and put protection around you every day. But also, like, don't be reckless and act in such a way that is like taking for granted that you're protected. Like, don't be reckless. Still look out for yourself, right? So now we've let go of a lot of these things, and we're healing and we're moving forward, and we're feeling like this resurgence of mojo. And we're feeling our magnetism really come online. And so there could be a lot of opportunities and things coming up. So just remember to practice your discernment, but you're going to be very charismatic and very magnetic to the universe. Part of the reason is because you've come to this point where you've offloaded all of this baggage, and then suddenly you've just like up-leveled into this new higher version of yourself. The World card is a card about like having come through this whole spiritual journey and actually like coming to the end of it, not the end, but like the end of this cycle of learning. And it's like you've learned your lessons, like you've learned from this period in your life, and now you're free to go in another direction, and that choice is up to you. So it's like I feel like we're coming online, we're coming alive, we're feeling more charismatic than ever. The world is at our fingertips. But right now, it's just about like letting ourselves heal, letting go of the past, letting go of our hypervigilance in the moment, and just relaxing for a minute and regrouping, right? It's like take sanctuary while this whole new self like comes together and like the concrete sets. Like let yourself set. Like, you know, this is like, you know what I thought about this today? I was like letting my nails dry. I'd painted my nails and I had like rushed something and I touched something too fast and I ruined them. And I was like, damn it. And I was like, January is all about letting your nails dry. Like, that's the vibe of January for the year. It's like we're just kind of sitting here waiting. Like, we're ready to go. We want to run out of the house. We want to, like, go out and, like, you know, live. But we just have to sit still for a minute and let our nails dry. That's what January is to me. Because, so our final card was 5 of Wands. And so I think that we've got like just one little minute here of a pause before things really kick off. And we're being given opportunities this week to see what's triggering us so that we can see underneath those triggers, what are the hidden conflicting desires that are standing in the way of us getting what we want. So, is there something that you want, but there's also something like a phobia you have about it, or like you're not quite ready, the timing's not right, or like, for instance, are you like really wanting like a high quality partner, but like in a romantic way, but you're not willing to like carry on with a relationship at the moment? That's a hidden conflicting desire. It's like part of you is like yearning for the intimacy and, you know, the depth of the relationship experience, but the other part of you is just like, I don't really want to invest myself in someone right now, or I don't want to, you know, I'm too busy. I've got too much on my plate. Like, I don't have enough like energy or attention to spread out. So that would be an example of a hidden conflicting desire. Another example could be that you want more financial success, but you are afraid that if you're truly successful in your career, or you move up, or you start another business or whatever, and it becomes successful, that you will lose all of your work-life balance, and that you won't have any fun in life anymore, and that it'll all be about work. Or maybe you don't know what to do if you had more money, right? And so you're just like subconsciously self-sabotaging yourself because it's just so foreign to you that your subconscious doesn't know how to behave or how to act in a world where you have more money, right? So you do things to sabotage and push away opportunity, and you're like not even aware of it, right? So these are more examples. Another example of a hidden conflicting desire is if you want to get in shape and you want to have like a certain physique, and say you want to like tone up and like cut some weight or whatever, but you are like you're unconscious about overeating. And so you love like you're like carbon out and like, but you're also doing all the cheese and the creams and stuff, and I don't know, you're just not really paying attention to your diet, and you're not really working out a lot because you're like, oh, I know, like I don't have enough energy to work out. But really what it is that like the working out gives you energy. But yeah, all of that stuff where you're like, oh, I want to be in shape, but I'm not willing to actually do the things that create that result. Hidden conflicting desires. So right now, what would behoove us is to look to see, okay, at this current state, what am I still hoping to call in? And like, in some levels, I might already be experiencing that, but how can I unblock myself to experience this more fully? What is standing in the way? What subconsciously is blocking me? Because your subconscious is just trying to protect you, because you've been through so many changes and such intense transformation lately. Your life has changed on so many levels that your ego is like, subconscious, like, help me out here. Like, we've got to stabilize. Like, things are changing. We're being annihilated. We're being annihilated, people. Evacuate. Like, there's all these different warring parts inside of us are like freaking out, right? This is the inner conflict going on inside of you, this card. So how are you still conflicted inside? What are you still conflicted about? There's obviously something that you see that you want, because I think that in some ways in this card, like, we're the Queen of Wands and we have the world at our fingertips, but it's also like we see what we want and we see that it's all so close. Like, what is it that's preventing us from having the fulfillment of our desire? And is it conscious for you? And if it is, then how can you reconcile those between yourself. You know, maybe you're having a limited perception of something. Maybe you're having a limited belief that you need to get to the bottom of, you know? So this week, pay attention to those triggers as they come up, because they're highlighters trying to show you and pinpoint exactly like what's going to be most productive for you to address. What is it that's holding you back now from moving forward to the next phase of your desire? All right, y'all, Sanctuary, which crowned, no, that was all out of order. What's wrong with me tonight? And sometimes when I get really confused and spacey like this, I'm like on the verge of a migraine, and I'm like, oh no, I hope I'm not gonna have a migraine, because it's like it's really stormy tonight, and it's like the weather has like gone crazy, and sometimes that can bring one on. All right, so we had our Queen of Wands under the release. We had healing in the world. It's funny too, because as we heal ourselves, our healing helps heal the world. And we've got Sanctuary and Five of Wands. So we need to find a way to quiet that inner conflict, right? Find that inner peace within. Figure out, don't just quiet this, but really settle it by listening, observing, like witnessing this conflict, because your subconscious needs you to see this. It wants you to see it. It's tired of you just like pushing it out of the way and pretending like it's not there. That's not what's going to solve this. It's going to be like facing it head on and figuring out how you need to reprogram this to heal it for yourself. And it could be just seeing it in a different way, tweaking your perception, tweaking your beliefs. It could be going back to that memory in your earlier life, or, you know, that whatever it was that left this impression on you, and going back and reliving that in a positive way and changing it around, and maybe like handling it the way that you wish you would have handled it, or imagine it happening in a way that you wish it would have happened. But either way, understanding that everyone is in any situation is flawed, doing the best they can, probably not good enough. So yeah, giving yourself compassion, giving others compassion, and then maybe like some of this stuff will all just relax for you. We are, you know, continuing to heal, and one of our, I think it was the manifestation message this week, was all about focusing on that mother healing and healing our relationship with our mother, but also healing our relationship to motherhood and how we feel about that. And how we see it. And maybe like we see mother, like the archetype, is such a mythological like creature. It's unattainable for a human woman to live up to. So we have to give our moms like a break from expecting them to be these mythological giants and perfect, you know, goddesses. Same with our dads, you know, and just realize that they're just flawed human beings. And come to terms with your, you know, make a relationship with the archetype, the mythical father, the mythical mother, right? And have a relationship with the legitimate divine father / divine mother. And it'll help you, like when you have a relationship with a divine mother and father, you get that mythical experience of the archetypal mother and father. And when you can get that directly from source, that's the whole like journey of like growing up and leaving your parents' house, right? Is that you have to look to source as your ultimate archetypal mythological level parents. That way you can just forgive your parents and you can let them be just the people that they are and accept them where they're at and for who they are. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a wonderful night. I'm going to enjoy the stormy weather, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.